Ron Burke here at Gaming Trend. Wanted to talk to some folks at Volition and Deep Silver about Saints Row 4. If you would, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little about the game.
Certainly. My name is Brandon Bray. I'm the project audio director on Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4 is probably one of the funnest, craziest open world games that in the Saints Row franchise. You start off as leader of the free world. You're the president of the United States, and then you get abducted by aliens. There's an alien invasion, this huge intergalactic empire, and then you're thrust into this nightmare simulation of a world that you have to fight your way through. You have to take over the simulation, break it down to defeat the empire.
Yeah, so you're president of the United States, but Saints Row style. I saw stripper poles, I saw chicks in cop outfits. There's some craziness.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's going to be the Saints in the White House, or as you know, the White Crib, as they would call it, you know, there's going to be gambling, there's going to be some booze, there's going to be some shenanigans. That's the only way the Saints would do it.
So you guys are kind of taking the chains off here, and you kind of, because you're in the Matrix, if you will, you kind of have free roam to take off any normal physics-based constraints. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about some of the superpowers.
All right. Yeah. Well, since you are in the simulation, you do get to kind of break the rules. And Kinsey, you know, she's your technical guru. She figures out a way to change your code that you can have these superpowers. So, you know, they're super traversal. You have you can run super fast. You have super jumping. You can leap really high, really far. And so that alone just changes the gameplay. It makes traversing the city extremely fun. As you glide around, you can see how the city is reacting to what you're doing. So it's a really, really fun part of the gameplay. But then we also introduce offensive powers. So things like telekinesis, you can pick people up, you can pick cars up, toss them around like they were nothing. Things like ice blast, you can freeze people, freeze cars. We have a buff power where, for example, it will light you on fire, and then anything you come into contact with lights on fire. If you shoot somebody, they're basically incendiary bullets, and they'll just burst into flames. And then we also have this stomp power where you do a super stomp right onto the ground, and it creates a shockwave impulse that'll just blast everything into the air. And all those superpowers are upgradable and customizable as well. You know, that's definitely one of the tenets of Saints Row is customizing. And so if we're introducing this new bit of gameplay, we want to make sure that players can customize that to their liking as well.
Now in Saints Row 3, I know you guys had wanted to put in weapon customization, but you just didn't have the time. But it is in Saints Row 4. So can you talk to us a little bit about the weapon customization?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Yeah, so in Saints Row the Third, you know, we introduced weapon upgrades as far as functionality, things like that. So, and that's still in this game as well. You know, you can definitely you know, if you want to change the rate, you know, upgrade your rate of fire, your damage, clip size, things like that. But we've also added some customization as far as how it looks visually. So the first of that is costumes. So you can take something like a burst rifle, and you know, standard looking burst rifle. It's a lot of fun to play with, but then you can make it look like a water gun, or you can take a you know, a small submachine gun, make that look like a nail gun, you know. And then on top of that, we also have skins where you can just kind of change the color scheme of those costumes. And every weapon in the game has either costumes or skins. I mean, I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 150 different looking weapons. So that's again, players spend a lot of time on customizing their characters. Now we have one more way that they can customize the look of their character by customizing their weapons.
Yeah, it does kind of change the tone of the game when you're supposed to be having this cinematic, very sad moment, and you're in a giant hot dog suit or stark-ass naked. Yeah,
well, you know, that's one of the best things about Saints Row, right? Is, I mean, you know, you can make your character look as awesome, as badass, or as silly as you want to, and that totally goes in with our humor. I mean, you know, a lot of these scenes we are kind of tailored to the fact that a player might be, you know, make some blue-faced, fat, you know, dude, and then he has this touching moment, and it just makes it great.
So speaking of silly and crazy, let's talk about the dubstep gun.
Okay, very happy to. Yeah, the dubstep gun, we're really proud of it. It seems to be a fan favorite. It's a lot of fun to play with. It took a lot of work. I mean, it's been tossed around back in the Saints Row 3 days. We just didn't have the systems in place to do it, and then it took a couple months to get some of the code in, and then a couple more months talking with designers and art to figure out exactly how we were going to do it. And when it came together, we we were just really happy with it. It's actually a relatively simple system, but it's very intensive with audio markers in the WAV file. That's what's used to help trigger visual effects and the cars bouncing up and down. And everything is in tempo with the music. And we really just wanted it to be, you pull the trigger and there's a party on the street.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the new activities that you can do.
Well, there's a couple that we showcased today. There's a Blazin'. It's a race activity that utilizes your superpowers. It's you have to sprint really fast, and it's a lot harder than it looks, but it's a lot of fun. We also bringing Professor Genki back. He was a fan favorite from the third. We have a new activity with him called Mind Over Murder, where you have to utilize your telekinesis to wreak havoc in the streets of Steelport. We're bringing back some of the fan favorites from Saints Row the Third, things like insurance fraud. We are introducing some new things. I can't really get into those right now, but I really do think that the fans are going to enjoy the activities, especially the ones that really showcase your superpowers.
So what kind of time are you looking at for completion of the main story, at least? I know there's going to be a ton of side missions to do, but what are you guys looking for a longevity on that?
I'm not sure. It seems that it already has a lot of replay value. The campaign itself, very similar to Saints Row the Third as far as there's a lot of unique environments. We take the player to a bunch of different places. There's a lot of along with you getting abducted, all your homies get abducted, and so you go through missions in these kind of nightmare realms to go get them back and bring them back. So there's a lot there that's there's going to be some loyalty missions for those players. We haven't really done that before. So, there's definitely going to be a lot more for the player to experience in just the campaign itself. But then with all the new things that we're offering in the open world, this is definitely has the most open world content of anything we've ever done.
We definitely have to pour a beer for THQ, but how's it been working for Deep Silver, working with them as a publisher?
Deep Silver's great. We were just in limbo figuring out who was going to be, who we were going to be end up working for. But once that was ironed out, they were pretty much hands off. They recognize what we do and that we know how to do it well, and they just let us, hands off. Here you go. Do your thing, and no restrictions. And it's been great. It's been great.
That's good to hear. Let's talk about the collector's edition. So what can we see in the collector's edition?
The collector's edition, as far as the game goes, includes the Commander-in-Chief pack. So that's a pre-order pack that gets you the Uncle Sam outfit, the Screaming Eagle jet, and then the America gun, which is basically the gun made out of guns. That's just crazy. And then there are some other items in there. There's a dubstep gun replica. There's a Johnny Gat statue in remembrance of Johnny Gat, and there's the Doomsday button for as part of your executive powers, you have access to the big red button,
which is naturally purple with a big red button on it.
Exactly.
When are you guys coming out, and on what platforms?
We're coming out in North America on August 20th on Xbox 360, PS3, and PC, and then worldwide on August 23rd.
Thank you very much.
It was my pleasure. Thank you very much.